and welcome back to the channel. This is the biggest open secret of this channel, is that I love American props. I love P-47s in particular, and today we're going to be taking a look at what is, I believe, the highest battle rating, most powerful P-47 that you can fly that you don't have to pay for. There are some other P-47s that you can fly that you can take out, the P-47M, which occasionally goes on sale, that is more powerful than this. But this is the tech tree variant. This is the D-28 at battle rating 5.0, and this is the pinnacle of P-47s in the tech tree. And I gotta tell you guys, as someone who loves P-47s, I love the D-22RE, the 3.7 P-47, the very first one you get. I love it. It's fantastic. It's great at 3.3, but it is, you'll feel the engine in that one. You will feel the lack of horsepower in that one. You will feel, occasionally you'll die in it. You'll be like, well, you know, I played it like I should have played it, but I just didn't have the engine power to get done what I wanted to do. You have no excuses in this one. This one has absolutely got a massive engine in it. It's still the same airframe, basically. Oh, sure, you get a bubble canopy, but that only really matters in sim. This is pretty much the same flight model. It's still got all the same flight characteristics, at least none of which you won't notice. It doesn't fly any different. It might fly slightly different, but nothing you're going to notice. So you're flying essentially the same vehicle as the 371, the D-22, but you have just a hugely upgraded engine. And today I'm going to take you through a couple of games with it. And the biggest difference is with that engine, you have carry potential. P-47s up until this point, the 431's okay. I can't really think of this as D-25. The 431's okay, but you still feel the lack of engine. This one here, the D-28, you have no excuses not to be able to carry your entire team. And you better have big, broad shoulders, because you are going to be carrying your team. You're going to be playing at American 5.0, which when you're in a down tier means that you're going to be carrying your US team, because you will likely be the biggest, baddest prop on that battlefield. Now, you might get some help with some Bearcats. I think people don't play Bearcats very well in general. I know I don't. It's not a prop I've really been able to figure out. So you're going to have to carry your entire team. So if you play this prop, be prepared to carry your team, and you need to play it correctly positionally, and you need to play it correctly and use that big old motor that you got. Because if you don't, it's still a P-47. You're still going to die. Like, you can't turn fight with it. It's still the same flight model. You just now really, really, really surprise people when you take them into the vertical. And they just fall all over themselves trying to kill you. And they'll follow you up thinking that you're the weaker P-47s, especially in a down tier. They're just not used to a P-47 being able to do what you're about to do to them. And they'll follow you in the vertical. And it is some of the most satisfying kills that you can get in this game. And I'm going to show you a couple games. I think one is like six or eight. Like couple carries, basically. I might not get every kill in the game, but I've definitely carried the team to victory, and that's what you guys are interested in watching. And we're going to do it in the D-28. So here we go. Buckle up. Let's go. But quick thing real quick, if you haven't already liked and subscribed and smash that like button, please do all the YouTube thingies. I'm trying to get partner program this year, as well as I'm going for 7,000 subs, and you guys make that all possible, and I appreciate you guys, and I read your comments. And I try and make videos that you guys want. I try and help everybody out, help the new players. This is a complicated game with very experienced players, and I'm trying to just impart the knowledge that I have to people. And if you want to be an absolute wonderful Chad of a person, human being, share it with your buddies and share it with your squad too. All right, we're going to jump right in here where I have elected to not join the furball in the middle of the map just yet. And the reason why I do that is because I kind of wait on these slow, high climbers. Like this 109 is not one of the first ones we see, but he has certainly had some altitude. He kind of looks straight up AFK, though. So we're going to try and make this deflection shot. I mean, I botch it. There's nothing else to say there. I just freaking botch it. I do get him tagged there towards the end. He's probably a little bit impacted in performance-wise. We take it up because that's where we're going to have our advantage. We take it up. He tries to come up too. You can see that distance closing. So I'm going to do a high yo-yo, but while I'm doing that, a teammate comes in and cleans him up. Some of you guys might get upset about that. I'm actually quite happy when I see that, because if I see a teammate come in and clean up someone I've got energy trapped, it means they're paying attention. It means they know how the games work. And so I give them an old bravo. So don't always be going and stealing everybody's energy traps, but occasionally it's going to happen, and you should just be happy it's happening. So now we fall on the group that's below us. We've got 2 or 3 teammates down here, and I need to try and figure out who am I going to attack first. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. I got some they're all German, and then I spot that KI 100 over. He's probably going to be my first target, but then I've been running the throttle too hot. I'm overspeeding. I'm going to have to take it back up. I don't want to rip my wings off, which is really hard to do in this P-47, but I was trying to do it anyways. We go up, we have massive amounts of energy, and we have a gigantic engine too, so it's not too hard to do. That KI 100 pulled pretty hard, but he's just not going to be able to keep up. We got him and the 190 below us energy trapped. At this point, it's just a matter of who takes an angle that makes it most advantageous, for me to go after. And so I go after the 190. My shooting has now cleaned up, and I pilot snipe him pretty easily. Luckily, we don't have to watch bad shooting the rest of this game, but we just take it back up. Notice I'm not doing like a full 90-degree climb, but you can climb pretty good, and you're going to regain most of that energy. Now it's the KI 100's turn. He's just continually energy trapping himself. I don't know what it is about the KI 61s and the folks that fly them, but just a straight up stall, just clean him up. He's nothing to say there. At this point, I've got a 109 coming in sort of at my 90-degree angle. I'm going to just keep it going up. If he's going to try and chase me, let him do it. Ultimately, he decides that's not a good idea, so I just circle over the top of him and drop on him. He has spent all of his speed thinking he was going to climb for me, and he just does not have the speed to now escape. So when I drop on him, I'm going to easily catch him, and that's a triple strike. The Corsairs want some help. I have to put my energy back into altitude here. I do think that maybe I can break off and help him, but this 109 here looks at me, sees maybe a chance to get me, does shoot my tail up pretty good. I'm quite lucky that he didn't shoot my tail completely off. Unfortunately, the Corsair, it gets cleaned up by the Doe 335. So I'm going to make use of the other huge advantage that these P-47s have. With that massive engine comes massive inline speed. So I'm just going to level out an RTB, because I don't want to take on 2 of them with a busted tail, and it's not worth it. So I've already got the speed. I'm already heading that direction. You're going to see the distance continually increase between me and that 109G, and that's a G. It's a pretty fast one. But he's just not going to be able to keep up when I've already got speed headed in that direction, and I'm just going to continually increase this gap as my horizontal speed retention is better than his. But I'm busted up, so I'm going to go RTB. We're going to cut that and jump forward in time a little bit. All it is I go and land. The 109 turns around and lands too, and so does the Doe 335. The Doe 335 takes a head-on with a teammate, and they both die. So it's just going to be me and the 109 and a B-18. So I've landed. I'm taking back off. You'll see my MEC settings here, which are prop pitch 85, mixture 85, rads full closed. Now, if you look at the published online spreadsheets, they say something about a little lower prop pitch to keep from overheating, something like that. I find that I can go up to 85 prop pitch, and with the short matches that are happening these days, I never really overheat my engine. I can keep my rads full close. You tend to run out of MEC before you overheat the engine. So we are taking back off. Only thing we have to do is we have to find... We actually see the 109 there, who is RTB. I'm mainly looking for this B-18B that is ground pounding. I want to make sure that I take care of him before the tickets bleed out. That is one of the best changes that Gaijin has actually done recently. If you're trying to clutch a game, is the ticket bleed no longer bleeds out. Now, does it drag the games on a little longer sometimes? Sure. But in a situation like this, I'm incredibly grateful that they made that change, because now I have a chance to clutch this. I have to look for the B-18. The B-18 can actually ticket bleed me out, but he's going to have to himself go kill all those ground units. So I'm sort of looking for him here, trying to find him, flying over where I think that the ground units might be disappearing. You know, you see me zooming there and back and whatever. But he ends up popping smoke for some reason, which I'm okay with. I see his pink smoke down there at bottom mid right of the screen there. I know I'm going to get spotted because of the AI planes right there. So I'm really now looking for the 109, seeing if the 109, I keep looking at their near field, maybe thinking that the 109 has gone to the near field, because that B-18 with pop and smoke made himself very easy to find. And I'm debating between, do I want speed or altitude, kind of judging whether or not that 109G came out and climbed hard, or if he just flew straight out. And he's going to pop up on the screen here in just a second. And he opted to not climb. And this is why I always stress to always be climbing, even in the late game. I don't, at least at 10 degrees, because I got him. I got him here, guys. I mean, there's nothing really he can do. He gave up so much energy landing and then not reclimbing. The only thing I have to do here is not blow it. My accuracy does go to crap again, but I keep tagging him. He's really got nothing. I tag him pretty good right there, and I just go back up. I'm not in a hurry. I know it's only him and one other guy. We're going to make him try and chase in the vertical, but there's really nothing he can do at this point. I've got him trapped. It's just a matter of how long does it take for me to shoot this guy down. I do have a bit of a timer running in the back of my head for that B-18 attacker. When's he going to come out? I don't want to get third-partied. So that's probably making me rush my shots here a little bit. I tag him again and give him an oil leak. He's got to be orange all over at this point. But again, we just go into a vertical spiral. He's not going to be able to follow. He just doesn't have the energy. So I think he realizes that at this point and just jays out. So that gives me my 6th kill this game. And we are just going to now be looking for that B-18, which I think went to the near field. And here we go. We'll jump forward a little bit here until he gets on the screen. He basically asks me if he can bomb again, which I really wish I could have done, but I don't want to mess around with the tickets and all. I'm right here. So I kind of like, nah, I really can't do that. Or I don't tell him anything. I just shoot him down. But, I wish I could have let you bomb one more time, dude. I get it, but you're probably better off just going into the next match anyways, because you're about to lose this one. So that's it. That's that's my ace in the game. And you can really just see how dominant this is with this huge engine. And if you play it right, you can absolutely carry your team to victory. So play it in the vertical, use that massive engine, keep your energy, play it like a P-47, but that actually has an engine. So let's jump over to the next game. So I do like to show you guys complete games, but sometimes it's just, that's not the cool stuff doesn't happen in a high kill game. Sometimes the high kill games have very easy kills in them, and that's why they're high kill games. So I'm not going to show you this complete game, and the beginning of this clip is not super impressive. But I do want to show you this game here specifically because it's a bit more of a typical experience. The other thing that this clip has that, it's not just an entire group of enemies that are energy trapped on the deck after having, participated in the furball. This is a little bit more up high stuff, and I want to show you what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to figure out which target to select right now. I think initially it's going to be that Pyramirski. There's like 3 Pyramirskis. I end up looking at this one. I think he's coming up, but he's not really coming up. And luckily, I look up enough in time to see this guy. He's probably already going to get cleaned up, but I managed to get guns on first. And we free up our P-51 and make sure he doesn't go down. Do support your teammates, guys. They are going to be useful in the long run, even if it just means a distraction for the enemy team. Not that that's what that guy is, but... So we come around, we're trying to look for our next target. We see this J-26, we see the Yak-3. The Yak-3 is definitely an enemy I want to keep an eye on, but he's low, and I don't want to give up my altitude just yet for him. We have established air superiority. We're at 5,000 meters. They are all way below us. So I'm kind of headed towards this J-26 that climbed. because if he's smart enough to climb, he might be a threat, even if he isn't a Mustang. And I mean that, and I don't get me wrong, guys, I love my Mustangs, just that most people don't play them right. And I just happen to see this PE8 next to me. I really have no choice but to, shoot at him. I get the severe, my bad, don't mean to kill still. I'm really still headed towards this J26. And, I'm going to make this guy have something to think about. I'm overshooting a little bit, but he does dodge, and we end up getting him on fire at the last second. Yeah, that's the other thing about this clip, guys, is it doesn't have the best accuracy in it. I don't remember when I was playing this game, but it was not when my aim was crisp, which actually means more dogfighting. That's the other sort of like irony, right? If my aim is on point, there's less dogfighting because you just end the fight sooner. But yeah, as mentioned, we're going to keep an eye on Yak 3s. Yak 3s should always keep an eye on them. This Yak 3 thinks he's going to have an easy target over at my teammate, the P-51. P-51 just took it head on and came out victorious, but now he has to deal with that Yak 3. And I want to go over there and I want to help him out because there's still plenty of very dangerous enemies in this match. So I'm headed this direction, spot the other Yak 3 over to the left. Gonna kind of see who gets to me first, maintaining a little bit of an altitude, trying to communicate with my team, trying to let that guy know I'm trying to bail him out. He does bring that guy towards me, so I'm somewhat obligated to try and handle him first, but this guy, I don't want to ignore him either. Yak 3 is very dangerous opponents, always a group project. So I circle over the top of him. He thinks that I guess I'm not paying attention or that he can come up and tag me. I don't want to say I've energy trap him, but I just circle over the top of him, let him spend his energy as he comes up. So now I am in a greater energy state. I'm going to use my flaps, and essentially I've got him now slow. He's going to try and regain his speed, and at this point I got to get guns on him. I'm going to use all of those 3,500 rounds if I need to, and the Yak 3 that was engaging my P-51 is now on my tail. Notice I didn't immediately go straight back up. I have a lot of straight speed, so I'm going to use that to create some distance. I need distance away from this Yak 3, and now that I've got some distance, I can start the climb. I can start draining his energy again. I want to get away from him first because those guns are very, very dangerous. And we're just going to start energy trapping him. I'm calling for some help. Hopefully that P-51 is still paying attention. Looks like he escaped, and now we've got this guy low and slow. We're going to take our first pass on him. We're going to see if we can't catch him out. I did mention the aim was going to suck earlier, and I apologize, but he's doing a pretty good job of dodging too. I'll give him some credit too. I do get some hits in him. It's the Yak 3P, which is a dangerous variant. So we go back up. He looks to be compressing a little bit. I'm letting, I guess, the P-51, he's making his pass. I think, okay, he made his pass. It's my turn for my pass. So here we go, diving on him. Yak 3s are always a group project, guys. Always a group project. Bring a friend. You're going to want them in a minute. Again, my aim, I think he's just maybe paying attention and dodging when he sees tracers. He does a good job. I try and make sure I don't put it into the ground. So we level out. And he actually did a pretty good job with the reversal right there. I might have had some trouble, but at this point we've got him slow enough to where the P-51 picks him up. And that's a bit more the dogfighting ability of the P-47. You can see it's quite capable. Make sure you use your flaps. Make sure you use your high ammo count. Use it, guys. You got it. Use it. Make them dodge, make them panic, make them react, and always make sure that you're keeping high speed. Most people who think that the P-47 can't dogfight don't keep it fast enough. If you keep it fast, it's quite capable. It's heavy, but it's quite capable, especially with flaps and especially with speed. I end up taking a head on with that Yak 3. There's nothing really to see. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. This is another not complete game, but I wanted to include it because you're going to find yourself in these types of situations so often with the P-47D-28, especially in down tiers. Your US team is going to like evaporate. They're going to die. And you're going to find yourself in situations where you need to manage 3v1, 4v1, 2v1. And that's what I do in this clip. I've got 3 people below me. They've just been mopping up bombers, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I've got those 3 guys right there, and I'm going to be over the top of them because I've been doing my side climbing, right? Here he comes. He sees me. He wants to take me out. I'm just going to go up, but you need to know how to manage this situation. So the first thing is to never commit too deeply on any of your attack runs. This guy, I wasn't able to get full around on him, but I'm fast, so we kind of awkwardly sort this out, and at this point I realize they all kind of see me. They're not chasing the bombers. I need to establish the up top here. So I'm really kind of checking all 3 of them, doing loops over the top of them, see which one that I can get guns on first. The G seems to be the most biggest threat because he's coming up the most and he has the most capability to do so. So we're just going to do vertical loops, trying to extend our loop at the top each time to get higher and higher. You making good use of my flaps, and I feel like I'm actually making progress on this 109G. Turns out I am. Got the combat flaps. He's just not able to go up that 3rd time, and I shoot him out of the sky. So now we're down to, it looks like one of the guys is thinking about exiting the area, but I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm really not going to get any help from around here. No one's really close enough, so I'm looking back down. I'm looking at the KI-61, the 205, and that 109. They're really who I'm focused on. Trying to see... Don't overly commit to any one target either. You might have to make a couple passes over the top to really see who stands out as the best target. I'm thinking I really want to get the 109 out though, because he's going to have the most ability to come up and challenge me in the vertical. So I really wish I had got that guy on that run. You do deal with a little bit of compression at higher speeds, and just a bad shot. I'm not going to have too many excuses for it. But they all kind of know where I am. They know that I'm going to make passes on them. I lose the one guy in the clouds. So I'm trying to keep my space here and see if that guy in the clouds will reappear. Taking them into that energy trap. Getting over the top of them. Making them pull full vertical. And we're just going to see which of the 2 of them shows up to be the better target, because they're both right below me. Make a pass. Really want the 109, but the 205 is right here. Again, some just bad shooting a little bit. I just don't pull hard enough in that situation. Probably could have knocked him out of the sky right there. And because of that, I get into a little bit of a bad spot here with the 109G, now that I know it's a G. And this is why I really wanted the 109 out of the match. But we're going up. We still have enough energy. We still have that massive engine pulling us into the air. We're going to use our flaps and dodge their shots pretty easily. And now we're going to drop down on the 205 again. This time he's just not going to have the speed to get away from me, and I can actually get my shots on target this time. Well, I say that. There we go. Now I got the shots on target. That knocks him out of the sky, and that leaves me with the 109 only. The KI-61, he bugs out, and I end up dying to a third partier in the rest of the match, but I just wanted to show you how to manage those multiples v1. You just want to keep it in the vertical. You want to keep it high. You want to make them come up each time. Pick one of them each time and drop in on them. That's why I really wish I had gotten that 109 earlier, because he doesn't end up killing me, but a Doe 335 in the clouds comes in and third parties me and lands his first shots, and it's really frustrating. So I don't want to watch it again. But yeah, I could have got that guy the match earlier with a little better aim. We all have our struggles, guys. We all have our struggles. Last match in an up tier with a clutch. I will say that this isn't the most technical flying that I have to do in the match. That's why I wanted to include the earlier clips of the actual dogfights. This is more about match management. As you can see, I'm about to take a bomber out, but I do clutch this match out. I am going to jump around in this footage a little bit more so you guys just see the highlights. The first highlight here is that I have a B-17 basically flying directly at me. I don't like engaging bombers at the beginning of the match, but I mean, come on, I got to, right? And so I have a yellow wing, and that's why I don't like engaging bombers at the beginning of the match, because any little damage that they do to you, you're going to carry through to the beginning of the match, and it's generally not worth it. And then the next thing you see is a Spitfire directly in front of me. What am I going to do? Dogfight him? No, if he wants to climb and he wants to take a head-on, I'm going to take a head-on. So here we go. We're going to line him up, and we're going to take a head-on with him. He's climbing. He's slow. This is probably the best opportunity I'm going to have to engage him, is while I've got a little bit of speed and while he's climbing, and he's going to give me a lot of opportunity to get rounds on for this head-on. I haven't quite... I don't do the 50 cal head-on very good, but you can see he's dodging, so I could just full commit. Finally do get rounds into him right there at the end. So that's 2 kills right away at the start of this match that required basically no skill. But it does come into play. Getting that Spitfire out of the match is very clutch later on in the match, for sure. So there's a large number of them down below me that I have to boom and zoom. I'm going to speed up this footage in the interest of time for this video, because it's basically me getting hits on zeros as they dodge very quickly, going back up. You guys have seen this plenty now in this video, how to do this. You know, boom and zoom, guys. Boom and zoom. Boom and zoom 101. I do manage to get some hits on some of those zeros, and I get some assists out of it. But yeah, I mean, these guys are quick, so I don't... And my shooting's not on point at this point, so we boom and zoom them, get some hits, and we just start working their numbers down. Me and this Ethanol 47, we end up clutching out this match. He does a good job. I'm super happy to see this happening, where the guys know how to boom and zoom, and that's so clutch, especially when you're trying to face these multiples like this. Get an assist. Was going to go for that LA11. End up last minute changing to this A6M5. It's damaged, so I kind of want to just knock him out while he's damaged, and so he can't RTB. Finally decide to pull enough lead on my shots and actually land some shots. He goes down, and now we are dealing with one less of their number. We take it back around. I'm going to speed this up in the interest of time. My Ethanol 47 guy gets himself in a bit of trouble, calls out for some help, so I get down there and I need to land this shot on this C-Fire. Otherwise, Ethanol is not going to make it, so I absolutely need to make this shot. I really lock it in here, finally get my aim right, and cause him to break off early, keep Ethanol in the match, and also knock out the C-Fire all in the same run. It's a big win there. And then over to the left, I see the Yak 3 and the, I think it's the LA11, have double teamed up on the Corsair over there. It's time for me to get over there. We need to knock them out of the fight, hopefully before they get the Corsair. Spoiler alert, we don't. They get the Corsair first. So we're speeding over here just as fast as we can, and I got to make a decision. Who am I going to try and boom and zoom first? LA11 seems to be slightly paying attention a little bit less and is the nearer target. Thought about going after the Yak 3 in a single boom and zoom, but it's better just to treat them with kid gloves a little bit. LA11 goes down, and now we're just going to boom and zoom this Yak 3 till we can kill him. Trying to just drain him of his energy, make him feel trapped, make him start making mistakes. And I do want to cut him off from his airfield. I don't want to let him go to his airfield. And I'm calling this one a maneuver kill on this Yak 3. You're going to see why I have to call it a maneuver kill. But this guy, we just slowly drain him of energy. We cut him off from his airfield. It's me and Ethanol 47. We're just continually putting the squeeze on this guy. Now he's finally dodging, starting to make a move. Want to make sure I pick a good spot here because it's still a Yak 3. And I think this guy's could easily, you know, reverse. I mean, it's a perfectly capable aircraft for sure. And instead of doing that, this guy just decides he wants to put it into the ground. Good for me. I don't care. I'll count it as a maneuver kill. But then he proceeds to talk trash the entire rest of the match. It's hilarious. I mean, I thought the guy was just raging. It cracked me up. I don't need the RP, guys. And if you throw yourself into the ground like that, I'm just going to put you in the YouTube video. So no big deal to me. Nice job, guys. If you're going to put a Yak 3, which is like one of the most capable vehicles, into the ground because you're afraid that I'm going to shoot you down, that's a W column, boys. That's a W column. And then, as mentioned, this will not be the best, you know, skill gameplay, but it's got a clutch, so I'm going to show this. Basically, I see this N1K chasing my bomber. I think he's not going to pay attention to me. He turns last second. I kind of panic and just spray. It didn't even give me a hit notification or anything, but I set him on fire, and he takes most of my tail off, but it held on, and he's on fire, so I'm just going to let him burn. The bomber, or I guess interceptor that he was chasing, comes in and gets his revenge, which, you know, more power to you, guy. I don't need the kill. I do get an assist, but that's another enemy out of the match. And so now I'm going to continue to try to RTB at this point. And the reason why I say continue to try to RTB is because they keep throwing themselves at me. This guy falls for like the simplest energy trap I've ever done. He just is flying directly at me. He had a good amount of speed. It took a while for him to stall out, but he only got within a kilometer. We just nose over on him, throw the flaps down. Even the damage state, I can make this kill. Those things are quite capable, actually. Don't rule out the AD4s. Like, you need to respect them. But yeah, just super easy energy trap on a guy that threw himself into a stall. Don't do that. You're not. I mean, unless I just didn't see you, you're not gonna make that kill. But yep, he does eventually. Yeah, there you go. So that's number 6 for me. And that's going to be it for this video. I wish I could tell you that there was something more interesting to happen in this. I think we just won on tickets. But it was a good game overall, worth showing. And I could sit here and talk about P-47s all day. Ask me questions in the comments if you have a specific question or whatever. But the D-28 is the pinnacle of it. It's available to you in the tech tree. Go play it. It's got a massive engine and quite capable, even in an up tier. I have more footage. I just can't include it, or this video would get too long. But managing those groups of enemies that are low like that can be done even in an up tier. And go fly the P-47s, guys. Give them the credit where credit is due. They have that massive engine. They can just float over the dog pile, and you just boom and zoom people to death. Be prepared to carry, though, because you're going to be doing a lot of it. Mash that subscribe, like button, and we'll catch you in the next one, YouTube.